Mason Mount first bid rejected. United have today gone ahead to submit the first bid for Mason Mount, and it has been rejected by Chelsea. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? How is your evening, guys? Hope you guys are really having a fantabulous evening. And looks like the opening day of the transfer window has started in high gear, and United have gone ahead to make the first bid of Mason Mount. Rokan David is my name. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to see to it that we hit 14,000 subscribers before the end of this month. And how do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this YouTube channel. We are talking about Laird, one of the right backs that I really like at Man United, and United have gone ahead to secure his future for one more further year. And lastly, Anton Martial is predicted to be really fit for the preseason as it starts in the first week of July at Carrington before we jet to America. Let's see close to 300 likes smashed on this video. Remember, the more you smash the like button, the more this video goes viral. United has been obviously trying to pursue Mason Mount for the last 2-3 weeks, and obviously they've gone ahead to agree everything with Mason Mount. Personal terms not a problem, and all what they wanted to do is to go ahead to Chelsea and obviously submit in their bid. And obviously when their first bid was submitted, Fabrizio Romano confirmed to us, and very many other journalists came out and obviously confirmed to us. And who was the first to really tell us the following as far as this deal is really concerned? It was Matt Law who first put in this story from the Telegraph, and he said, Chelsea have rejected £40 million bid from Man United for Mason Mount. Manchester United are still confident that Mason Mount won't sign a new contract at Chelsea after their first bid rejected. I like the confidence around Manchester United in such a situation, and United will always prevail on such deals when you really understand that it's all about United only. No competitor. Mason Mount went ahead and told Arsenal, my preferred destination is Man United. He told the same thing to Liverpool, because those two teams were the ones that we are really interested into Mason Mount. And obviously United found themselves in the situation of winning the race, and it's all about them to deal with Chelsea and agree on a fee. But on a sad note, the first bid made by Man United has been turned down by Chelsea. And guess who else confirmed to us that a bid had gone in? Fabrizio Romano. Man United have submitted an opening bid for Mason Mount today, as they guaranteed to the player days ago. Bid worth £40 million. Chelsea have rejected the proposal. As per Matt Law, no plan to accept £40 million bid for Mason Mount. Planning to bid again. Now, Man United have put in the bid. It has been rejected by Chelsea. United aren't willing to really sit down, obviously, onto themselves and don't really put in another one. They're 100% committed to getting the deal of Mason Mount out of the way by submitting in a bid that will go ahead and really excite Chelsea. Remember, Chelsea has gone ahead and really said, we want £70 million from Mason Mount. Left with 1 year on his contract. Obviously, it is really looking bad for the side of Chelsea. And why is it looking bad? I've just gotten to know that for Chelsea to balance up their books, they're supposed to sell these players before 30th of June to see to it that this money goes in and it's accounted onto this financial year of 2022 to 2023. The moment they don't sell these players before 30th of June, obviously their sales won't count, and Chelsea won't be willing to go on and really conduct transfers in July and very many other days. So they need to do these transfers ASAP. That's why it's to it that United have gone ahead to capitalize onto this opportunity and obviously squeeze Chelsea to the wall and tell them that, please, even if you bang your on the brick wall, we are not going to exceed £50 million. And I anticipate the second bid of Man United is not going to exceed £45 million. All £50 million. And I don't want us to exceed £50 million on the signing of Mason Mount, because I only like him because Ten Hag has gone ahead to choose him. If Ten Hag never wanted him, I would have gone ahead to say, no way, we don't need this player. If it was the era of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I would have gotten to know that that was an Ed Wood signing, because Ed Woodward in his career went ahead to sign close to 6-7 players that the managers never wanted, and he forcefully signed them and brought them at Man United, the likes of Di Maria, Fred, Donny van de Beek, and very many others at the club of Man United. The managers at that particular time never wanted those players, but he went in and really forcefully signed them at the club of Man United. But when Erik ten Hag was coming into control of Manchester United to manage it, he told the board, no player comes in without my approval. And trust me, Erik ten Hag has always had a long desire to sign Mason Mount. When he was at Vitesse in between 2015 to 2018, was it 2015 to 2018, I think, to 2017, he wanted this player on loan from Chelsea, but Chelsea just loaned him, I think, to a certain club in the Championship. So that is Erik ten Hag for you. There is a long desire for Mason Mount, and finally he's going to get his own player he really wants. And United is using that opportunity to squeeze Chelsea, because Chelsea have to sell these players before 30th of June to balance up their books, to see to it that their transfer budget is really boosted, because they went ahead to spend £700 million in the summer transfer window and the January transfer window. And Arsenal's also gone ahead to seize on this opportunity. Guess what they've done? They've put in their proposal to sign Kai Havertz. They've gone ahead to agree a deal with Kai Havertz, and now they are agreeing with Chelsea. But for Kai Havertz, Chelsea wanted 70 million, but they believe it's negotiable, and Arsenal started to negotiate. But I'm asking myself, if for Kai Havertz, who is left with 2 years on his contract, they are willing to sit down and negotiate a deal for him, why is it hard for them to negotiate a deal for Mason Mount, who is left with 1 year on his contract? That's what baffles me. And Kai Havertz is a far much better player than Mason Mount. Is it because Mason Mount holds a British passport and Kai Havertz holds a German passport? I think that should be the reason. You know, they're having 2 players, all of them are midfielders, and they're all attacking. Mason Mount is left with 1 year on his contract. Kai Havertz is left with 2 years on his contract. They are willing to negotiate down the fee of Mason Mount from 70 to maybe 50 that Arsenal is willing to pay, but they're not willing to negotiate to £50 million to Mason Mount, a player who is left with just 1 year on his contract. One will say, if at all United wants to go all out and sign Harry Kane at £100 million, right? Yet Harry Kane is a player who has always found himself in a position of score. Yet Harry Kane is a player who is 30 years of age, and Mason Mount is 24 years of age. How does that connect? I'll give you a very good answer. Harry Kane is a world-class player, proven beyond reasonable doubt. You know, he has been scoring 20 goals for the previous 8-7 seasons in the league. He's a world-class player. Mason Mount is not even a top-class player. I think he's just a good player. Unless otherwise, Erik ten Hag turns him into a player that we all anticipate to be, but he's not all that exciting. So that yardstick is wrong, and I've gone ahead to rubbish it down. Now, let's go to another reporter that went ahead and really put in a story about Mason Mount. It has been Jacobs Ben, obviously, confirming to us that Man United's proposal, opening bid for Mason Mount, was £40 million and was dismissed by Chelsea out of hand. That is Jacobs Ben, and all these are tier 1 journalists, meaning that this is totally concrete. Alex Crook for the TalkSport has come out and really confirmed to us that Manchester United's Mason Mount bid of £40 million was flatly refused by Chelsea. Chelsea won £70 million. They won't get that given contract situation. So I think United are really trying to capitalize onto the weakness that Chelsea have in this. United aren't willing to bow down. They're 100% sure that Mason Mount is not going to renew his contract at Chelsea. And Mason Mount has gone ahead to tell Chelsea that I'm not renewing my contract at Chelsea. I don't want to ruin my relationship with the fans of Chelsea by coming in and putting a transfer request. But all I'm going to let you know that come rain, come sunshine, I won't put pen to paper. That's it. I want to go to Manchester United. And you'll all understand that Chelsea are in a weak position. Mason Mount is left with 1 year on his contract. If they don't sell him this summer, he will go out on a free. Chelsea won't allow it, and I think they'll take in that amount of money. If they take in 50 for Mason Mount, 50 for 50 for Mason Mount, and 50 for Kai Havertz, that's £100 million. I think that can really take them into the ilk of really signing some other good players like Moise Caicedo. But right now, they are really having their hands tied. So let's wait and see how the negotiations go down. And it shows you exactly how bad we are in negotiations, because if they are willing to negotiate, down that fee with with Arsenal of Kai Havertz, they know exactly how we are bad at transfers and how we've been ruined, and they know that they can exploit that. But the good thing is that United have a new football director of negotiations. That is Matt Hargreaves. He started working on Monday this week, and I think that's why you've gone ahead to put in that bid. And I'm not surprised that the bid has gone in when he started work on Monday. So let's wait and see what more is going to come in from those. So let's wait and see what is coming in through from Chelsea and Man United. But I think a second bid is anticipated to be thrown in by Man United, and obviously they are going to fight tooth and nail to get in Mason Mount at the club of Manchester United. Then let's go to the other story. You know, Ethan Laird, he was loaned to QPR by Erik ten Hag, and we've gotten a confirmation coming in from Steve Rainston, Man United writer for the Manchester Evening News desk. He has told us that Man United have activated the contract option of Ethan Laird, who is now tied to the club until 2024. I look at this guy and I really love him, and I think they are going to sell him. Why? The right back situation at Man United does not really allow him to really keep at the club. At the age of 2021, I think now it's high time that United sold him and put what we call a resale back clause. When they sell him to a club of the Championship and that club sells him, they get back some money. I think that's what we're supposed to do for this lad, because Dalot and Bissaka have gone ahead to conceal that right back position of Man United, and he has no place for him to play. And to make it worse, these people are still young. They still have a lot of age on their side. Dalot is 24, Bissaka is in the same age bracket, so he is still a young player that cannot provide space for for this young player. Bissaka 25, Dalot 24, meaning that they still have some solid 5-6 seasons at Manchester United. And I see nowhere Ethan Laird is going to pass to go through them. So I think they should sell him to the Championship, but I like him as a player. He is really talented and he has a lot to offer if at all he gets a permanent deal. I think we can get like £5-6 million from him. Ajax was in need of the player. Maybe Ten Hag can send him at Ajax and obviously see to it that he plays a very big role there. And they can even put back a buyback clause, if possible, that before you sell, you have to first contact us, and they should put there a minimum fee or a fixed fee that they shouldn't exceed while requesting to sell him. Like Lavia, Man City sold him to Everton, and they sold him to Southampton. They agreed with Southampton that before they sell him, they have to first contact Man City, and Man City will get that player at only £45 million. But you've seen Lavia being good, though his team that was playing for was really relegated to the Championship. And lastly, Anton Martial injury situation has been really assessed, and we've been told by Telegraph Dhaka, he's a United correspondent for the Telegraph, and the fact is Anton Martial is expected to recover from injury in time for the start of the preseason, but his future at the club remains uncertain. Obviously, the future of Anton Martial is really uncertain, but that injury boost will really do us great. And I don't see any club signing him, and I don't see Erik ten Hag offloading him, because when you look at the budget of Man United, we might not be able to get in two centre forwards, and he will be relying on that one striker he signs in, Anton Martial and Marcus Rashford. I think that's what we are going to get into this summer, because two strikers that Ten Hag wants are really not going to be possible. That's it. they're not going to be possible. And I think I was going to hate to settle on to Rasmus Højlund, get him in at 50 million pounds, get in Mason Mount at 50 million pounds, get in Kim Min-jae at 50 or 45 million pounds. That's 150 million pounds. Then you get in Rabiot on a free, and then you get in a goalkeeper, meaning that he's willing to spend close to 200 million pounds, and that can be available, especially, mark this, especially if at all Sheikh Jassim Al Thani takes over Man United, as when he clears the debt, United can go ahead and really add on more 50 million pounds onto the budget we are having of 120 million pounds, to see to it that we find ourselves in a situation of making it 170 minus sales. When we add sales, that budget can really accumulate or explode or influx to 300 million pounds. So that's what I had for you here onto the United Matters channel. Your thoughts onto Mason Mount first bid rejected as submitted by Man United. What do you make about Ethan Laird, a very talented right back that United has gone ahead to extend his contract by 1 year? That is the option has been triggered. Should Erik ten Hag keep him, loan him again, or sell him? And lastly, Anton Martial injury bust, and what do you make about his future? Because Ten Hag wants 3 strikers, and those 3 strikers are he's supposed to buy 2 and really add that one onto Martial. So do you want Martial to be sold? Yes or no? And I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God bless you abundantly. Me out for now. See you later, Muslim friends. May Allah protect you abundantly. Me out.